out how to monetize these results. All right, my name's Rory Powers. I'm with Right Line Trading. I'm going to be showcasing the AI Auto Trader today. And I'm going to go over some of the features of the system, some of our recent results, and the good news. We have a Black Friday special. We're starting Black Friday early. So if there was ever a time to come aboard, this is the time. Best pricing. Let's go ahead and get started. Just to get the CFTC out of the way, this broadcast or this video is for demonstration and educational purposes only. I am not a licensed financial advisor. If you're not familiar with the risks associated with trading, please consult with a licensed financial advisor. So I just want to start off with a testimonial. Somebody, one of our members who had purchased the AI Auto Trader. We've got a beautiful community of traders, and part of the community, we have all experience levels, our members, anywhere from the complete newbie who's kind of totally green to really the professional who's, you know, a professional full-time trader. Marcy falls into that spectrum at the very left side, the complete newbie, when she first started about 4 or 5 months ago. She came aboard, you know, very excited. She had, you know, seen some of the emails she had been receiving about the results and wanted to jump in head first. And she gave us a testimonial, and I just want to say that it is 100% genuine. And I want you to know that. And I'm going to show you on Trustpilot. There's about 100 other reviews that you can kind of gauge, and there's a few negative and mostly positive. But I really took a special interest in Marcy only because she's such a, you know, a God-loving woman, a good woman, and she really wanted to succeed. She was hungry for success. And Marcy's story is one of somebody who significantly shortened the learning curve and achieved accomplishments that would have taken, I think, almost anybody else 3 to 5 years to get done what she accomplished in about 90 days. So to make a long story short, she was able within 90 days to get 16 funded accounts through Apex, having zero to little experience. And that's what her video, if I play the video, it won't show up on the replay. So I'm going to kind of highlight it, but if you want to see it, it's on our YouTube channel. And you can hear it in her own words. I'm kind of paraphrasing the main message of what she had delivered. And she continues to this day. She's probably 5 or 6 months in now, and she's on YouTube Live every morning trading it with us, and she's making money almost every single day with the AI Auto Trader. So this is a system she credited to. I think this is very important. She credited her success and the accomplishments that she was able to make in such a short amount of time to the tool, to the AI Auto Trader, to our team here at Right Line Trading, to the community, being part of the community, and really getting screen time and learning the nuances of the charts. So congratulations to Marcia. She has 16 funded accounts, and she continues to this day to do extremely well trading the AI Auto Trader. So let me tell you, if Marcy can do it, you can too. Here at Right Line Trading, I'm part of a very educated and experienced team. And our mission here at Right Line Trading is really to provide our members with an edge. We want you to have an edge over all the other retail traders because those are the ones we got to beat. Unfortunately, it's kind of like a war, you know, of who's going to win whose money. And if we're going to go to battle, we want to have a bigger, more technologically advanced weapon than our adversary does. And I think with the AI Auto Trader, we deliver that. But it's our mission to provide our traders with an edge over the other retail traders. One way we do that is we have software that's based on mathematical modeling that helps predict the future direction of price. And that's extremely valuable information. We have 3 professional traders on staff. Mr. Craig Emery runs our futures live trading room. You could see him on YouTube Live once every week. He trades for a few hours, so you could see his system and his, I like to say, style or methodology, because all traders over time develop their own style and their own techniques on how to extract profits out of the market. And Craig does a wonderful job leveraging the money flow tracker, trading the futures instruments. Mr. David the Kushner is our professional prop trader, and he has a prop trading room that he trades with his own unique style and set of rules. The same system, just a little bit of a different style. And Kush is extremely conservative. He treats the prop trading as a serious business, and he's able to consistently get payouts from those prop firms that make it so difficult. And last but certainly not least is Mr. David Wise. David Wise leverages those signals to trade options. And man, can this guy trade options? You know, if you haven't seen him on the community of Reddit, the community of traders called Reddit, which is really 20,000 traders deep, his name is highlighted, meaning that he's verified. He's a professional trader. They did a verification of his performance and track record. And he's published these beautiful articles on options trading in the Reddit community. He's truly a leader. The reason being, he maintains very close to a 90% win rate trading the SPY super system. So David is our options trader. Behind the desks, we got my right-hand man, Mr. Brock Miller. He's our college student. He's getting his degree in computer science. Charles Sider, he's a graduate of UCLA. He has his master's degree in computer science. He's become one of our team favorites with our members because he bends over backwards to provide support. The guy, let me give him credit. The guy, you know, lives in California. He's a graduate of UCLA. He still resides in California. But he's a guy, we have a morning meeting every morning at 8:30, which is really 5:30 his time. So he's up for that meeting, and he goes until about 8 or 8:30 Eastern. So, you know, that's, if you count the hours, he's working 12, 14-hour days, sometimes 6 days a week. So he's extremely committed to providing our members with excellent customer service and technical support. Sergio Luque Rodriguez is our coder. Brilliant guy. He has his master's degree in computer science. And, you know, I've been with Sergio here at Right Line Trading for probably, he's been with Right Line for about 8 years now. And Sergio, you know, it started out, he was coding complex mathematical formulas, mathematical modeling, algorithms, with Mark Sachs, who was has his master's degree in mathematics. So Sergio was really developing complex algorithms for years, and now we've kind of moved on. We've advanced our technology to artificial intelligence. And after being in collaboration with a world-renowned AI lab, Sergio is now proficient at integrating artificial intelligence into NinjaTrader 8 language. He's extremely gifted and extremely intelligent. That's Sergio Rodriguez. The team is led by Mr. Mark Miller, is the owner of Right Line Trading. He has his MBA from Cal State. He's a U.S. Army vet. And, I like to, do an analogy of because Right Line Trading changed hands. Mark Sachs was the founder. About 2.5 years ago, he passed the baton off to Mr. Mark Miller. And it turns out that Mark's background was in robotics and automation. He's an engineer. And moving into this automation and this AI future, the technology that's really the future, I like to use the analogy of a relay race. You see those relay racers with the like 50 meters times 4. They're running full speed. They got to pass that baton, and man, it was just the picture perfect handoff. It couldn't have been to a better person. And let me tell you something about Mark Miller. He brings those core military values of honesty, transparency, integrity. He brings those to the forefront, and it's found their way. Those qualities have really found their way into every department here at Right Line Trading. So I'm really proud to be a member. A little bit about myself, the voice that you hear behind the screen. My name is Rory Powers. I'm a Syracuse University graduate. My passion, I love to trade the financial markets, and I love saltwater fishing. And let me tell you though, before I get to the fishing, my biggest and the catch that I'm the most proud of is my wife. I'm happily married. My wife is an RN, and we have two beautiful children. Her name is Christelle, and we have two beautiful children, a 5-year-old and a 20-month-old. She's almost going to be 2 years old in March. And this was just last week during Halloween. And let me tell you that they really own my heart, those kids and my wife. But my other passion is saltwater fishing. And this was a recent fishing trip down here. I live just north of the Florida Keys, all the way down in Homestead by the Air Force Base, which is the very southern tip of Florida, where there's just some outstanding saltwater fishing. And Mark Miller, Sergio, and myself took a trip. We came back with some nice grouper and snapper. This little restaurant you see in the background, they cook your fish up right off the boat. And man, did we have a feast that day, a great time. So enough about me. Let's get on with the presentation. And really the genesis of the AI auto trader was our lack of consistency of in our trading careers, and I'm really the biggest victim. I like to call it a victim, um, because listen, I can't tell you how many accounts in my career that I've blown out. Let the truth be known, and I'm not ashamed to tell you that I'm not really a great trader. In fact, to be quite honest, I'm a terrible trader. The reason I'm terrible is because of my emotion. I make these emotional, human, I like to call them bonehead moves, bonehead mistakes. When your money's on the line in a fast moving market, to be able to make split second decisions that are totally sound decisions based on the technicals and the data is, to me, almost impossible to do. I once, and I always tell this story, and I'll tell it again in case this is your first time. But it turns out, I was watching a really smart guy. His name is Chris Vermeulen. Chris Vermeulen did a study on human emotions and personality traits as it relates to trading the financial markets. And what he found was that we as humans share about a 10 to 12 core personality traits. And for example, there's the analytic, there's the driver, there's the emotional. Well, there's about 10 or 12 core personality traits that we all share, but we're all unique and we all have a different percentage or a different degree of all of these traits. And what Chris found in his study, that only one or two of these personality traits lend well to being a good disciplined trader. Okay, so if you're somebody that these human emotions get in your way of being a trader, it's not your fault. This is our human nature. It's our human nature. So also listen, that's not the only issue that we have as traders. There's a lot of indicators out there that just lag price. They're ineffective. Listen, the important thing to know is, the very definition of insanity is to do the same thing again and again and again and expect a different result. You know, I've kind of learned my lesson after beating my head against the wall and blowing out 100 different accounts that I'm just not a good trader. You know, I just have to accept it and find a different path. And let me tell you, I have a viable path that I'm going to be showing you here today. So let's go ahead and let's get started. Because listen, these emotional errors, you know, if you squeeze your stop, if the trade starts going in your way, in the direction that you had planned on, a lot of us squeeze our stop, and we won't let the trade mature. It's always not a straight ride up or down. There's some bumps and pullbacks along the way. Or if you're somebody that takes a little heat and bails out, man, it can get so frustrating. This image here, you know, if that's the female version of me, after a day trading, you know, I'm just, I can't tell, you know, just incredibly emotional, um, frustrated with the results of the day. So what we've narrowed it down to are two things that we believe are going to create trading success. Number one, we have to have the proper tool set to be able to identify when the most opportune time is to get in and get out, obviously. And if you're anything like me and you're not one of those people that just have that one personality trait, you know, to 95% of just that one trait that lends well to being a good trader, then ideally, if you suffer from these human errors or emotional problems with your trading, then ideally what we need is we need a strategy, an automated strategy that can get us in and get us out completely hands-free without emotion whatsoever. And that is the beauty of this AI auto trader. And let me say this, if you don't know already, and I'm sure you do, but we happen to be in the midst, and it's not my opinion, I've heard it from several professionals that truly believe that we are in the midst of an AI revolution. This artificial intelligence, listen, none of us want to believe that one day a robot is going to be able to do our jobs and take over. And, you know, I don't think that they will be able to completely take over a human. It's just my personal opinion. But the benefits, the efficiency that's added by using artificial intelligence can't be ignored. And where it's headed, knowing and reading and keeping abreast of some of the news that's coming out, and for one, NVIDIA, you know, which holds like a 90% market share of artificial intelligence, of the I was just reading an article before I came on about the GPUs for these data centers that build artificial intelligence. Let me tell you something. They're coming out with a new chip now that's 30 times faster, that can process 30 times more information faster than the one that they currently have now. In fact, they've already started filling orders. NVIDIA on November 20th is going to reporting the earnings for this past quarter. And October was the first month that they started filling those orders. So let me tell you something. I think we're just scratching the surface of the full capabilities of this artificial intelligence. NVIDIA over the past year has gone up 243%, and it's still continuing to break out and go even higher. So the benefits from using the AI auto trader, you know, I like to put it into perspective. It's almost like having, instead of your own brain doing the thinking and trying to calculate when's the best time to get in by looking at a bunch of different indicators, this is giving you an edge because it's processing an extremely enormous amount of data at the speed of, I like to think of like a calculator or a computer. Imagine trying to multiply and divide 10 different 5-digit numbers in your head, and how long it would take you. And now try punching in those same numbers in a calculator and see how fast you have the answer. Well, that's kind of like this artificial intelligence. There's no more overthinking or hesitating. The system is going to put your stop and your profit targets based on the average true range of the market. And I'm going to go into that a little more in depth in just a minute of how it works. It also is only going to trade when historically it makes money. The most profitable hours of the day, it's going to take trades. And historically, when its system performs poorly, it's not going to take a trade and it's just going to sit on its hands. And last but certainly not least, because the prop trading has stormed onto the scene, I'm going to go over the prop trading templates. Okay, so hang around, but let me go into the minutia just a little bit here. Because listen, the biggest knock, and I'm just going to take a really quick sip of water. The biggest knock on automated strategies, and I have the privilege of answering the phones here, and I've spoken to hundreds, if not thousands, of traders, and I've really heard a lot of feedback. And really what most people tell me is that, hey, I had this other strategy, I bought this other bot, and when market conditions were, let's say, trending, man, this thing was great. It was unstoppable. It did wonderful. But as soon as market conditions had changed, it lost the consistency. It was no longer able to make profits. So that's always been the knock on these automated strategies, is once market conditions change, the strategies are no longer effective. So what we've done as a solution is we've integrated this artificial intelligence, and it comes in 3 different components that I'd like to just highlight for you now. The first component I want to mention is our pattern recognition. Built within the strategy parameters, we have the candlestick patterns. It's a machine learning algorithm. The charts throughout the day are very geometrical, and they will again and again create these candlestick patterns that once they come, they usually is a reaction to that candle. For example, if you're going long, and all of a sudden you get one of those big, ugly, bearish engulfing candles, usually the market is going to reverse and head down and retrace back to the 50. Well, our software will recognize those candlestick patterns and immediately get you in or out of a trade to lock in profits or to capitalize on getting into a high probability entry. So the candlestick pattern recognition is a machine learning algorithm that has been integrated into our system quite effectively. The second is our dynamically changing profit hours. The technology that we've implemented, each one of our bots runs in tandem with what we call a drone. Both the bot and the drone will take the trades. The drone is just kind of what it represents as a drone. It's kind of hovering above and looking at the overall environment of the current market condition. What I mean by that is it's going to have a huge stop and a huge profit target. And what it's assessing is the average true range. In Ninja Trader language, they call it the maximum adverse excursion, the MAE, versus the MFE, or the maximum favorable excursion. In layman's terms, that's the average true range of the market. That's where ideally where we're going to have our stop and our profit targets that are based on that average true range. We don't want to have an overly ambitious profit target in a market that's choppy or going sideways. We want to be able to move our profit target in when we see that the range is very narrow. Now, if it's a trending and the market is just flying like a rocket ship, we want to be able to capitalize on that and be able to move our profit target out. This system, it's important to know, will dynamically change your inputs while you're trading. Listen, we're an extremely news-driven market. We can go from a ranging sideways, choppy market. We're ready to pull the hair out of our head because we're getting chopped to pieces. We just don't have anything to trade. And all of a sudden, a news report drops and the thing goes off like a rocket ship. And the whole market conditions have changed to a trending market. So with this automation, with this integration, it will dynamically change the parameters of your strategy while you're trading. It self optimizes. I've spoken to a lot of traders that have purchased other bots, and they tell me, yeah, well, and we used to do the same thing. We have to constantly optimize our inputs and our settings because of the changing market conditions. Well, what this has done is eliminated 99% of that. Now, once in a while, a bot is going to go rogue on us. It's just going to get stale. It happens. But our team is always on top of that. When that happens, we're going to replace it. We're going to find something to replace it with on a different data series with different parameters. And we have a great team. Listen, we have an extremely talented community of traders. And listen, there's power in numbers. My point is if one of them goes rogue, we're going to replace it with something that's working. 99% of the time, though, these bots are going to optimize themselves. So that was the second integration that we made, and we call it the dynamically optimizing trading session hours. And this kind of gives you an illustration of how it works. This is the NinjaTrader. You have to excuse me. Last week I had laryngitis, so my throat is still a little off. I have a little bit of a cough. But this is an illustration of how the logic works. On the left, this is just simply the NinjaTrader trade performance metric, which NinjaTrader, this is one of their most powerful, features in my mind that they have. This trade performance gives you some really great insight on historical performance and a number of different metrics. The metrics that I'm showcasing, that I'm highlighting now, are what we call the time analysis, where it breaks down by the half hour of the day. The x-axis on the bottom is showing each half hour of the day. 8:30, we made 12 or 1300. 9 o'clock, we did good. 9:30 to 10, 10:30 to 11. So right up until 11:30, from 8:30 to 11:30, the drone did fantastic. So what does it tell the bot to do? It tells the bot to trade from 8:30 to 11:30, only the times that it's profitable. When 11 o'clock kicked in, it started doing terrible. But then at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, an hour into the closing bell, we had that huge spike in profits. And it told the bot, that's the time you want to trade. So in essence, what it does is it eliminates those hours out of the day that it just historically has a poor performance. And listen, that's the mandate for these automated systems. Sure, listen, we could find winners. Anybody can find a winner. The true test of an automated strategy is sidestepping the losers. I always say, especially if you have a prop account, but I'm not going to say that, because whether you have a prop account or a live account, drawdowns hurt. It doesn't matter which one you're trading. Nobody likes to take a drawdown. And being able to sidestep these losers is really what gives us a beautiful equity curve at the end of the month, or a payout at the end of the month. So this is a great illustration that shows you how our logic works in regards to the trading session hours being dynamically changed. So the drone is on the left And the bot is the one that we would trade our live or our funded account on, is on the right with all of those losing time frames filtered out. So let's go ahead, because we have a really great diversified portfolio of strategies. And in the beginning, I told you, man, I'm so excited about how this one is doing. And it happens to be a strategy that runs on the ES. Normally, it's the NASDAQ that's so exciting. Well, not this month. We've got a strategy on the ES that is just crushing it. And I've been talking about it now for about a month. It was shared to us by one of our members. We had always had what we called our cash register, which ran on a 5-minute bar, a 5-minute candle on the ES. The system is a very diversified portfolio of strategies. We're trading 6 different instruments. It runs on the NinjaTrader 8 platform. In order to run the system, it requires 2 things. It requires NinjaTrader 8 and a live data feed. As long as you have those 2 things, you're in business. So the diversification of these strategies, the reason why we diversified the strategies is we know that it's a news-driven market. With these economic reports that are coming out 2, 3, 4, 5 times a week, we know that institutional money, the ones that are creating the trend, are going to do what's referred to as sector rotation, where they rotate their equity from one asset class to another in order to minimize risk. So our strategies are running on all of the futures index equities. The futures index equities, what I'm referring to is the NASDAQ futures, S&P 500, the Dow, and the Russell. Extremely liquid. Okay, the bid-ask spread is minimal. We can get in and out of these with very nice fills. We also have added crude oil and gold, which are really great diversification to the portfolio. So the first one I'm going to highlight, and I'm not going to go through them all, but I'm just going to show you a few of them. The first one is the ES, and this is the one that's got me so excited. I should have saved it for last, but it's first. The ES, and this is a monthly recap. The ES on the 5-minute, trading just one contract from October 1st to the 31st, made $2,843.91. Now, it won 50% of its trades. We have a really nice risk to reward ratio, some very clever ways to lock in profits if we don't go to our maximum excursion. We have trailing stops, and we have break even plus or minus, and we have something called our profit window. We're on a 1 contract strategy. We can have a very ambitious profit target and lock in profits on 3 legs on the way to the moon, on the way to the top, the full excursion for the profit target. So from October 1st to the 31st, just winning 50% of the trades, trading 1 contract, it was just over $2,800 on the E-mini. That's the 5-minute. Now, the one that's really a mind blower is this ES30 range, and I have to give credit where it's due. We have a member, his name is Robert. He's a professional in this niche, and his expertise comes in the optimization of these strategies. He was very kind and allowed me to record a meeting with him, and for an hour, he went into great depth of how he optimizes these templates using NinjaTrader's strategy analyzer. But this is right off of his workspace, and I'm going to show you mine to compare the two. But he's been running it since September 14th. From September 14th to November 6th, he's up over $21,000 trading this strategy. Okay, and he has every single one of these trades documented. So it's not BS. It's the real thing. And I'm going to show you mine just to compare it, something to compare it to. This is my trade performance, and I'm going to start with just this week. and how this strategy's been doing. This is what I called earlier a mind blower. So this week, this week with the election, that right after the election was over, the market just shot up. I mean, the Dow went up the first day 1,300 points. But this strategy, this is my ES star. Let me find here it is. ES star, that's the 30 range star. That's the same one Robert shared with us. Look at the results this week on this strategy, trading one contract. It won 85% of its trades. The average winning trade is 831. But listen, if you take a loser on this, it's going to be a big one. The losing trade, and there wasn't many of them, there was only one. It took 8 trades, 7 winners, 1 loser, but it was a full loser. It was 1,200. But it made $3,737.50. So what did it do if I add in last week? If I add in last week and go from the 1st to the 8th, well, that's 1 week. My computer's breathing heavy. Well, that was the weekend, actually. So let's go to the previous week, the 25th. So from the 25th to the 8th, just under $7,500, has an 80% win rate. Took 18 trades in 2 weeks. 18 trades in 2 weeks. So about, roughly 10 trading sessions, just under 2 trades per trading session. So it's not a strategy that's going to be popping off trades left and right. It might take 1 or 1.5 on the average, 1.5 trades per session. And on each trade, it's averaging a winner of $823 with almost an 80% win rate. So, that's that ES star, that 30 range ES. So let's add 1 more week. And that's when I started trading it. So my results are very comparable to what Robert had been showing us. We actually released this strategy just last week. We tested it, and we found through our testing, which I'm showing you now, that it's the real deal Holyfield. If I go back to the 18th, that's when the first week I started running it, just to get a wide scope of the trading hours of when it does the best. So it pulled in more losers, but about $9,000 since the 18th. And if we go to our analysis and look what time to trade it, on the half hour of the day, we want to look at the entry time. From 8:30 to about 10:30, this strategy has been crushing it from 8:30 to 10:30. Those are our windows. Especially 9:30. It loves the market open. So that's what's got me so excited with this strategy. That's the ES on a 30 range. We also diversified into the NASDAQ. We have, several extremely strong strategies that trade the NASDAQ. One of our top ones in October was the one we refer to as the retirement plan. The retirement plan is a 2-minute data series. And from October 1st to the 31st, it made $5,297. $5,297 trading 1 contract. Now listen, it's important to know there's absolutely nothing preventing us from scaling up. Once we start gaining some equity in our account and we got their money, then if we want to go to 2 contracts or 3 contracts or however many contracts you're willing to risk, every single one of the parameters within our strategy are fully adjustable. Fully adjustable. You can set a daily profit loss, a daily loss limit. And once it hits that number, it's done for the day. I had a really interesting conversation with a trader this past week, and extremely smart guy. And he told me that his strategy is he has 10 funded accounts. And what he does is he looks to make $100 per day, 100, trading the micros. And once he reaches $100 a day, he shuts it off, and that's it. And on the flip side, if it loses $100 a day, he stops trading as well. And he's having really tremendous success trading our ES strategy using the micros and getting them to that $100 a day and stopping. He's just loving it. So he's doing extremely well with it. Anyway, the retirement plan, $5,297.50. A lot of people ask me, they say, well, what does it look like on a back test? We want to see how it's done with the current settings, how it's done over the course of a year or 2 years. And I want to just put it out there that this is a back test. It really can't be considered as reliable as forward testing. We found that the parameters that we get in our back tests don't play out exactly the same in a live market. And I just want to make that clear. But the results were somewhat similar. It averages about 3 to 5,000 a month on one contract. So from January 1st to August 15th, trading just one contract on the NASDAQ, it made $39,050 after commissions. And let's go ahead, let's touch bases on the prop trading templates. I'm really happy that to say that we are doing a Black Friday early sale that will be available this weekend. And included in the sale are our prop trading templates. What I mean by the prop trading templates, normally this is an add-on for prop traders. We have two sets of templates. As you know, the prop trading has two types of accounts. Number one, you have the evaluation account, where you have to pass the evaluation. Once you get over that hurdle, then you have the second account, which is a PA account or funded account that you can actually start making withdrawals and start making money with. So that dreaded evaluation where you have to make on a, say, a $50,000 account, you have to make $3,000 in profit before you take a $2,500 drawdown. What these prop firms have done is they've made something that was initially very difficult, being successful at being a trader, and they've made it even more difficult by adding these additional rules to the mix. With the plus side, the benefit of the prop trading, though, is we don't risk our own capital. It's just a little bit harder to win. So we try to make it, we try to provide you with an edge with this, and we've come up with our one-day pass templates. And the way they work is we take each one of our bots and we find the half hour or hour of the day that historically it does the best. And we scale up the number of contracts that we're going to trade. And the example that I'd like to share is on a $50,000 account that requires a $3,000 profit in order to pass the evaluation. And I'm going to use the NASDAQ strategy as an example. So this video that I'm going to show you, this is Mark Miller, and he's on YouTube, our live stream, and he's getting ready to take a one-day pass on the NASDAQ. The timestamp on the chart is about 10:25 in the morning. And we found historically between 10 and 11 on this specific strategy that our chances of getting a profitable trade increase significantly. So what we do is we level up the number of contracts to the max allowed by Apex in this example, which is 10 contracts on a $50,000 account. The minimum amount of ticks required in order to pass the evaluation to hit $3,000 would be 60 ticks. To account for commissions, we put in 62 ticks, just in case we get a tick of slippage. So in this video, the strategy is going to execute a trade. You see the cross that comes up on his chart. That cross will come up on your chart when all of the conditions have been met in order for that strategy to execute a trade. So let's play the tape. It pops him into the trade. He's trying to get 62 ticks, trading 10 contracts. It goes in his direction. The profit window came in, so he cannot lose on the trade at that point, and boom, it went all the way. So on that particular trade, he copied it across 6 accounts, and he made $18,000 across 6 accounts and passed 6 evaluations on one trade, on just one trade. So it significantly shortens the time that it takes to pass one of those evaluations. And that's the spirit of the one-day pass on those prop trading templates. Well, in October, our hottest one-day pass happened to be on the NASDAQ 30 range, just like the one I just showed in the video. In that strategy for the entire month, the win rate was 61%, which is a little higher than average. It does have the potential to win 61% of the time, but I always like to under-promise and over-deliver. So let's call it 33%, okay? Let's say statistically, we're gonna pass 1 out of 3 of these one-day pass trades. So what that would mean is if you buy 3 evaluations for a $50,000 account with the discount, it's about $100. You buy 3 evaluations for $100, you use these one-day passes, and statistically you're going to get a funded account on one day, in one day, on one trade. Now you always have the chance of getting 2 or 3 out of the 3, but I want to give you the worst case scenario. The worst case scenario is you won't get any. But I think it's very fair to say that statistically 1 out of 3 is a safe number when you go for the one-day passes. So once we get the funded account, we want to be a little more conservative. We don't want to be as aggressive. We have a trader named Gary. I'll never forget it. He did so great on his one-day pass. The very next day, he got the funded account and said, it went so well yesterday, I'm going to go ahead and do it again today. And he got his PA account. He paid the extra money, and he did a repeat, and it took a loser. And he didn't scale it down. He took a 10 contract trade with the maximum amount of stop allowed and the maximum number of contracts. And he called me and he said, hey, my account says admin only. When does it reset? I just did the same thing I did yesterday, but I lost today, but I won yesterday. I said, Gary, unfortunately that's how this works, is once you get that PA account, we have to switch up our strategy to something's a little more consistent and that can sustain the account. So we have to change our strategy once we get the funded account. So we have a couple of different strategies that are much more conservative. One of them being the PA account strategy that trades the NASDAQ. In the month of October, it made $2,720 trading just one contract. Had very little drawdown. With $1,100 of drawdown, it was able to make $2,720. And it will automatically conform to all of the rules that these prop firms put into that they make us follow. Okay. Hey, Robert, Ralph. Let's keep it going. So with this advanced machine learning algorithm, I was mentioning Robert, how he's up over 21,000 on the ES. We also have another member, Steve. Steve has shared with us the NQ Scalper, which is a smart bot that also leverages the candlestick pattern recognition. And from September 23rd to October 31st, his NQ Scalper was up $17,243. This is a a comment that he made in our Discord chat a few weeks back. He bought 3 evals on Monday, passed all 3 by Wednesday, bought bought 3 more on Wednesday night, and he's up roughly 1,700 on those. And he's working on the same scalper type of strategy on gold and crude oil. So this is what I was saying. There's really power in numbers. When we have members of our community that are willing to put in some time and effort into optimizing some of these strategies, man, we're going to do extremely well if they're willing to share the results with us. So let's do the special offer. It's Black Friday. The month of November, listen, people wait all year round. You don't have to wait any longer. I'm going to offer you Black Friday pricing. The price is not going to get any lower than this, I assure you. This is our Black Friday pricing. It's the best time all year to come aboard. We're going to include the full Monty. What I mean by the full Monty is, number one, you're going to get unlimited VIP support. Yes, it includes installation, but it's more than that. It also includes ongoing customer service that we have. If Charles isn't available, myself, Sergio, or even Brock is going to get on your screen, remote onto your desktop, and help you resolve the issue extremely fast, usually within an hour or two. The absolute longest will be 24 hours, usually within an hour or two. And I alluded earlier to some of the reviews on Trustpilot, and I really wasn't kidding. Thanks to our customer service and our trading system, we've racked up almost 100 reviews on Trustpilot, and we have an excellent score with them. So those reviews of other people's experiences, if you have time, you'll find that 99% of our members are very happy with us. And that's very important to us. We want to develop a win-win relationship. So it's important to know, if you're not proficient at NinjaTrader, if you're intimidated by learning a new platform, or you're just not good on a computer, don't worry. This is a fully automated system. We're going to do all the heavy lifting for you. At the end of the day, as long as your strategies are enabled, it's going to execute and manage the trades on your behalf. We're going to be here to assist you. You're never going to be in the dark. So that is absolutely included for the lifetime of your membership. We're also including our prop trading templates. All of our one-day pass templates, our PA account templates, are all going to be included for free. I always get the question, does Apex allow bots? Yes. You could trade these bots, and you have the potential to get payouts running this system in full automation. So this is right out of Mark Miller, the owner of Right Line Trading. This is right out of his Apex portal that shows the accounts that he's getting payouts on. He had several of them up over 60 and 65,000. So he has received very nice payouts from Apex, and using this system, you can too. The masterclass modules are included within our Discord chat group. We really have a beautiful members area. Within Discord, we have a section for for training videos. And in this section, you'll have training videos on the indicators, on building the charts and the templates, the masterclass modules that I'm going over now, a plethora of different tutorial videos on how to run the system. Those will absolutely be included. Something that Mark Miller has brought as really to the forefront is the transparency. There's not many vendors that let you see their automated bots trade on a live market on YouTube. I don't think there's any. There's very few, if any, that have that kind of transparency. And if you haven't had the the experience yet, I really highly recommend, if you go to our YouTube channel. I was showing it earlier, but if you go to YouTube And if you were to go to our channel, on, on our channel, there's a tab called Live. If you click on the Live tab, if you subscribe to our channel, anytime we go live, you're going to get a notification on YouTube telling you, hey, they're live. Right Line Trading went live. And throughout the week, we're going to trade it each day. David Wise does his options. We're going to do the AI Auto Trader. David Kushner is going to do his prop trading room. Craig Emery is going to showcase his style on the Money Flow Tracker. And we do it every single day live on YouTube for free. And we want you to come in. We want you to kind of test the waters, stick your foot in before you dive in head first. And I think it's very important. So in full transparency, we're on YouTube every day. And if you become a member, you're going to have access to that for the lifetime of your membership. So here we go. Here's our Black Friday pricing. The Black Friday pricing for the monthly subscription. Now keep in mind, this is the full Monty. This is all of your chart templates, all of the strategy templates, all of the prop trading templates, all of the ATM strategies. We're going to share everything with you. It all comes in templates. We're going to share the entire workspace, so you'll have everything, the whole portfolio. So we have 3 different sizes. We have the monthly, the annual, and the lifetime. The monthly subscription is normally $6.99. We're discounting it by $200 to $4.99 per month. A much better value is to do the annual. The annual subscription for Black Friday normally is $29.99. We're cutting it in half. With coupon code SAVE50%, the price is $14.99 annually per year. If you divide $14.99 by the 12 months of the year, it's going to break down to $125 per month. Let me tell you something. To trade this system for $125 a month and to have a trading room every day to come into, to trade it together with us, and to have the customer support and the customer service that we provide you with, I'm telling you, it's a great value for $125 a month. It does provide you with an edge over all the other retail traders. If you do have the means, the best value, of course, is going to be the one-time payment. The one-time payment or lifetime access normally is about $5,000. For Black Friday, we're cutting it in half. It's going to be $24.99 on a lifetime license, a one-time payment. So if you're somebody that just doesn't like subscriptions or recurring fees, you'll pay that one time and there will be no ongoing payments. It's done. Now my associate Brock is going to put a link into the room that will provide you with access if you would like to place your order. A really nice feature is this PayPal later. I see it out of the corner of my eye. And let me just explain what that is. PayPal has a feature called Pay Later. Ain't that nice? You don't have to pay now. You can pay later. The best part about it is there's no interest. As long as you pay within 6 months, there's no interest. So you could take that lifetime or that annual and do it across 6 months and pay no interest, same as cash. So that PayPal Pay Later is a really nice feature, and we offer it on our website now. So that's our Black Friday pricing. And listen, site-wide, if you get a chance over the weekend, check it out. Site-wide, all of our products and services, we're doing big blowout sales for this Black Friday special. And I just want to take just a minute just to show what some of our members are currently doing. And I'm going to drop let me drop out of my presentation and go to my workspace. This is the workspace and some of the leaderboard for today. You can see we're currently in this position on this smart stop. So this is going to stay in this trade to the long side until we get a bearish. There's two ways out. Well, actually, three ways out of this trade. It's going to stay in the trade long until we get a bearish engulfing candle, until we hit our profit or our stop target. And those are the three ways out. So this is a trade. This strategy, you could see this Sim Smart Stop. It runs on the NASDAQ on a 30 range, is up $1,680 today. On a day that wasn't easy to trade, it's up $1,680. And it happens to be in a position right now. You could see the trade it took right beforehand. It took a long entry, and it came in and went long and exited right here for a really nice profit. So all of these strategies, all of these chart templates are all included with today's offer. So this is what the workspace would look like. And I want to show you very briefly, just with a couple of our members, some of the results that they've been getting. We've got a great guy, Simon, from the UK, who in one day was able to make $16,000 across 7 of his accounts. Just trading one day, the system that I just highlighted, the AI Auto Trader. Limit Up. Limit Up is another member that's doing extremely well. You can see across 7 or 10 strategies, he was up probably about $15,000 or $20,000. So this system has the ability. I could only dream that I could put up numbers trading 4 or 5 different instruments simultaneously that this system has the power to do. This is Steve C. This is who I was referring to earlier, who brought us the NQ Scalper. Come aboard this weekend. You'll also have the NQ Scalper. And it's been putting up big numbers for Steve C. Suzanne. Suzanne is a great member of our, been with us a long time. Very active in our community. She showed last week or a few weeks back, she had opened some accounts with Take Profit and was doing extremely well trading this system using Take Profit. And last but certainly not least, I wanted to show this because I think it really carries a lot of weight. This is one of our members, Gary Sparks, who's been with us probably for 5 or 10 years now. Gary is a very quiet, humble guy who really doesn't say much. But we were in YouTube, and Michael was inquiring to Gary because Gary had shared some of the results that he had made that day. And Michael was inquiring to, let me go back, was inquiring to Gary about what other systems that he's traded that aren't as good. And Gary answers him back here, and he names a number of different vendors that he's bought bots from. And one of them he says he's still running on. But the very last sentence here, he says that right line trading is head and shoulders above our competition. And Gary really is not on my, we didn't pay him to say that. Let me tell you, it was a genuine review that really correlates with some of the other reviews that I've showed. So I want to end it with that. And again, the Black Friday pricing, it's a really, right now is the best time. If you're going to come aboard, the pricing that you're getting now for $14.99 for the whole year or $24.99 lifetime, those are really great opportunities to get on board. So I just want to say, I see a lot of questions, and I went over, I went a little bit over time. So if I didn't get a chance to get to your questions, if you could please put your name and your number in the chat box, I will be happy to give you a call, and I'll do my best to answer any questions that you might have. So and I want to assure you that nobody else will see your name and number. Just me and my associate Brock, and Brock is a really nice guy. He's not going to call you. All right. So with that being said, oh, this is the cumulative results from October 1st to October 31st. Site-wide, we're running our Black Friday sale and my thank you slide. Listen, I want to just take a minute and thank you for your time. You know, this election season was a very toxic one. You know, and it really pits neighbor against neighbor and even relative versus relative. And I just it's over now, and I think we can all move on in peace, hopefully. And I want to wish you a blessed weekend, and I hope that you're able to spend some quality time with the people that you care about the most. I want to leave with a message of hope. Listen, I'm somebody who's an absolute horrible trader who's blown out dozens of trading accounts. This AI auto trader has been personally a game changer in my trading career, and I'm very confident that it will be for you as well. So I hope you take me up on my offer and we can trade together come next week. Have a blessed weekend, everybody. Thanks again for joining me. So long.